What is going on YouTube? It's Sankey here to make videos on the stock market. Guys, I've got a jam-packed one for you today. Before I get cracking, do check out that link down below. Trading 2 on 2, grab yourself a free share of stock. If you already have an account, do introduce someone close to you using that link. It's a great gift from you to them. As we close out the weekend and head into a fresh brand new week in the stock market, yesterday I gave you the strategy and the plays that we're going to jump into Monday morning, but now it's time to have a little bit of fun with the stock market and look at some penny stock ideas. If you've been rocking with this channel, you would know that we hit the double up on Marathon Patent Group recently, so big shout out to anyone who jumped in on Marathon with me a couple of weeks back and doubled their money too. You'd also know that I've jumped back in on Marathon Patent Group to try and double up on the potential rise of Bitcoin. In this video I've got a couple of more exciting penny stock ideas for you that I'm also going to be jumping in on Monday. Without further ado, let's jump into the first play. Up on screen we have Ely's Game, ticker symbol ELYS, currently standing at $4.25. Now if you don't know Ely's, they're a sports betting and iGaming provider, right? This is an interesting business operating in both North America and Europe. Now what makes them interesting is they have their B2B business and their B2C business, right? Through their B2C business, they have their land-based betting shops in Italy on the ground, right? Their B2B business is a software package that they sell to bookmakers looking to get into that online gambling and gaming sector, right? So they have these two revenue streams to their business. So as you'll know, both DraftKings and LC are in our portfolios right now. We like those plays because we see the increasing shift to the legalization of gambling in US states, right? So this marks huge opportunity for these companies. And guess what? Ely's are set to benefit from this shift just as well, right? So I'm just going to throw up a graphic very quickly, which is going to show you which states have legalized gambling. So the ones who have legalized gambling are noted in the red color. So you can still see there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of states who are in process or who have not yet legalized gambling. Going into 2021, I've said it before, there's going to be a lot of states which are going to legalize gambling, and it's going to benefit all these companies massively because it's going to increase their total addressable market, right? There's more of a market share for them to capture. It means more revenue for these guys in the future. Now it's worth noting that Ely's are making good progress into getting their first sports betting license with Washington DC. So this is big news for the company. Alright guys, so let's take a quick look at their Q3. You already know that I'm not going to jump into a play without seeing solid financials. Now, good highlights. Revenue up 44% on the year to 9.7 million. They've also reached a fantastic milestone of having 100,000 online accounts, right? This is something they were aiming for and they managed to achieve it. Now, remember I said they have a B2B business as well as a B2C business. Their B2C business was down because of a lot of closures due to the whole economic situation, but they still had a fantastic quarter because their online business was booming, right? Up 150%. So this is fantastic news going into the future, and I see that number skyrocketing. Now it's also worth noting that they have a good amount of cash on hand of almost $11 million, and to top it off, they have no long-term debt, so they have no financial burden on the company. They can just focus on growth and getting their business to the next level. Another thing I really like about Ely's is it is a cheap stock, guys. You guys know I always talk about relative valuation, looking at the price to sales ratio of different companies in different sectors to see where the bargains are. They have a price to sales ratio of 2 times. Now to put this into context, a competitor such as a DraftKings, I know they're much larger, they have different arms to their business, has a price to sales ratio of 30 times. So to me, the key takeaway from this is the multiples can really be priced up by investors, right? So if there is investor interest, we know that that 2 times price to sales ratio can easily go to 4 times, easily go to 5 times off the back of good news. So this is good signs on our route to doubling our money in Ely's. And last thing to note, guys, is their CEO recently purchased 58,000 shares in the company. And I like this because it can indicate a few things, right? One, it could be that the CEO knows things that we do not know, and there is some good news on the horizon that's going to push that share price up. Or it could be there's a potential acquisition on the way again that's going to push the share price up. Or the CEO might just think that the company is undervalued, right? They know that the company should be priced a lot higher than what it is, and they're just gearing themselves up, ready for the rise in that share price. So in terms of what I'm doing, guys, I'm going to grab myself 50 shares on Monday because I think if everything aligns with Ely's, there's the potential to double my money and more in this play. Alright guys, so our next play is Ag Eagle, ticker symbol UAVS, currently standing at $4.01. This is a fantastic business, right? They own and operate a fleet of drones. And as we move to a more contactless world, this is going to have more and more use cases, right? So they originally started off in precision agriculture. This could be thought of as using their drones for satellite and mapping purposes to help increase crop yields and profitability. And they've also now been linked to e-commerce, right? Because we're moving towards that contactless delivery environment. Now this year they did actually come out and announce that they're partnering with a large e-commerce player. The details on that wasn't disclosed and we don't know who that is. But what I take from this is there is a lot of opportunity to partner with many different e-commerce players in the future. Just to put it into context for you guys, the unmanned aerial vehicle market is set to grow by about 12% constant annual growth rate between 2019 and 2027, reaching a total value of 27 billion. Guys, I'm always going to give you guys plays where the market is growing more than 10%. Why? Because you can get close to a 10% return in an index fund, and we are looking to beat the market year after year. And we stand a good chance by doing that by investing in companies with high growth industries. Alright guys, so quick check on their Q3 financials. As always, they had a good quarter, clocking in about 0.75 million in revenue. This was a record, and this brings their year-to-date revenue to $1.2 million. Right, so this is fantastic. Do bear in mind though, this is an expensive stock. This is the opposite to what we saw at Ely's. That was a cheap stock. AgEagle have a market cap of well over 200 million. This brings their price to sales of well over 100 times. So guys, what we can take from this is they need positive momentum to keep that share price going. There is upside in this, but there's a lot of downside. There's a lot of room for this stock to slide just because they're an expensive stock. I also like the fact that this is a high margin business, gross margin clocking in 43%. This was a big uplift on last year. They also have good cash on hand of $24 million versus 718k last year. So big uplift in their cash year on year. So this should help their growth and boost their development going into the future. And just like Ely's, there's no long-term debt, so there's no financial burden on this company. So in terms of what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab myself 40 shares Monday because I think there's a lot of upside to this, and we could double our money off the back of good news and increased partnership, especially in that e-commerce space. But as you know, this is an expensive play and it could be a long way down for that share price if they're not able to deliver for us investors. Next up, we have Microvision. This is ticker symbol MVIS, currently standing at $5.01. This is a fantastic business. They are involved in laser scanning technology, which is used for LiDAR purposes, which is good for our autonomous driving, guys, because we know that this is going to be big going into 2021, 2022 and beyond. And it's also used in augmented reality technology. So this is an exciting business. Now, they've also come out and announced that they've made grounds into working on long range LiDAR technology, right? Looking out for 200 meters. This is fantastic, guys. This is a big technological advancement. Now, Microsoft is the #1 speculative buyer for Microvision. They have a lot of links there, right? Microsoft have actually been hiring a lot of Microvision employees. Also, Microsoft have their augmented reality division, which uses Microvision's technology. Also, Microsoft are in that race for autonomous driving, which they're going to use Microvision's technology. Now, there's nothing been announced or nothing concrete, but this is a strong potential buyer. But if you're not Microsoft, there's a lot of other potential buyers out there. Ford is one of them. Tesla is also another, Toyota is another, and Alphabet is also another. So a lot of these big names could snap up Microvision, drive that share price up, and we can make fantastic returns if we jump in. Now, in terms of what I'm doing, this is more of a speculative play. So I'm only going to grab myself 25 shares of Microvision come Monday. Alright guys, if you've been rocking with the channel for a while now, you know what time of the day is. It's question of the day time. This question comes from Darren. Big shout out to you, Darren. I see you, big support of the channel. Thank you, man. The question is, hey Sankey, sell stop limit helped me take my gains on LCA. I'm up 170% with Alpine, even more upside yet to go. So thank you very much for sending in this question. It's going to help a lot of people out, and it's very topical because it relates to this penny stock video. So earlier this week on this channel, I did a tutorial on how to use these sell stop limit orders to lock in your profits, right? And this definitely relates to what I've been talking about in this video today, because a lot of these penny stocks can be very volatile, and A good way to lock in your profits, secure your profits at the top, is to use the tools available to you. And this is all part of my plan to help us all level up as we go into 2021. I've said it before, there's gonna be a lot of opportunity in the stock market next year, and we want to make sure we come out the other side very profitable, right? We want to see fantastic returns in our portfolio. So if you missed that video, I'm going to link it up the top. As Darren did, Darren locked in his profits, made fantastic gains, and he's doing very, very well. So big shout out to you. You know, he follows the strategy on the channel each and every day. He's making fantastic returns, and I want the best for everyone as we enter into the new year. So that brings us to the end of the video. Guys, do hit a like on the video. It really helps the channel out. If you're new, do hit that subscribe button. I post every single day. I've got some fantastic content coming for you guys. Tomorrow, I've got a big EV update coming for you. I'm talking entry points. I'm talking catalysts coming up. I'm talking about my favorite EV stocks, right, to see out the end of the year. So guys, as I always say to you, the stock market is rapidly moving, so do check into the channel each and every day so you never ever miss a beat, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.